All right, folks, we're coming to you on
Now you go. Go.
we're coming to you on a very terrible day today. There was an attempted assassination of President Trump not too long ago, as most of you know, as all of you know by now. And anyway, we just wanted to make some comments about what's going on here. First off, I do want to mention I just saw Joe Biden's statement up there. All right, they woke him up to put him
It
in
was
front of the mic to say
okay.
something.
It wasn't Joe.
Yeah, well, whoever it was. Anyway, he seemed more concerned with that. I think to me, he gave the impression that he was more disappointed that the attempt failed than he
No,
was concerned
it was
about his opponent.
it was scripted. It was the kind of thing that is just what you would call boilerplate. Don't read anything
Yeah.
into it.
Well, of course, he didn't even
There
write
was
it
no
himself.
Joe Biden in it.
Of course, he didn't write it himself. And you know what? Marjorie Taylor Greene pointed something out, and I looked, and I already knew that if Trump had been looking forward, he would have been hit right there and would have been killed.
Right.
But he was looking to the right. However, she mentioned, and I just saw it as it happened, he was looking to the right, but then he turned his head a little more to the right, and that was when the bullet hit.
Right.
Well,
It, hit
if he hadn't hit, he would have been killed.
it killed the person behind him.
Yeah. Well, one of eight shots, at least eight shots, killed that
Yes.
person.
Well,
And my understanding is that they've killed the sniper, but they're also reporting
not just a
contradictory.
sniper, Antifa sniper.
Well, that's the thing. They're saying an Antifa guy was arrested. He may be a second shooter because
Actually,
earlier I remember they were saying there might have been two shooters.
well, what I heard was that it was determined that the shooter was an Antifa. If there was a second person, that's something else. Because today you're going to get news 24/7. It's going to keep spilling out. And so
Yeah, but not in the mainstream media. They're trying to pass this off as an incident.
it's a yard sale. So
You know what my worry is? That bullet may have been it did graze him. That bullet may have been poisoned. I'm hoping not. Okay, I'm hoping that they didn't do that, but it wouldn't be the first time
even if
something
it
like that.
was the dosage, unlike here's the thing. Let's not talk about the particulars. Let's talk
All
about
right.
America.
Yeah,
This
it's very divided. The Democrats have divided it through their media lapdogs, those bitches at The View and others,
what I'm trying to get
MSNBC,
to, Roy, is
Hollywood,
this is a
Hollywood.
dark day.
Yeah,
Today is
Hollywood's been calling for this day
today.
Hollywood has been calling for this day for many years already.
They've been calling on it for at TikTok, but the thing is, it is here today. It is on our doorstep, and the question is, if that thing from Biden, if he truly meant those words, it would have been, he would have had an instant press conference. He would have said it. It was just a freaking letter.
No, he would have called Trump before he got in front of the microphones. He would have called President Trump himself, or at least tried to.
Yeah,
Maybe he's in surgery, maybe he's being examined, he couldn't talk, but he would have said, I tried calling President Trump and I couldn't get you through. I'll have to call again, or whatever, you know?
the thing is that the President Trump, who's been treated poorly for the last God knows when, since 2016.
2016.
They tried to assassinate him. If you want to believe that it's a lone wolf, go right ahead. But if this person is truly an Antifa member, then he's part of an organization, and that organization has proven beyond a shadow of a doubt, if you didn't know already, that they're a terrorist group, and they should be taken down like dirty dogs. They should be taken down like the scum they are, and they should be taken down with impunity. They have crossed the line.
Yeah, well, personally, the way I feel about them is Antifa is the Democrats' new KKK. Remember, the KKK was formed as their enforcers after the Civil War. And these are the enforcers that the Democrats have created today, these days, the last 4 years.
Well,
So,
here's the thing. Antifa is basically a rabid dog that they happen to put in the corral. So whether they're working independently or whether they're working under the instructions of their master. The fact of the matter is they should be taken down. That's your
Oh yeah,
target. Antifa. End of
yeah.
statement.
Personally, if I were in charge somewhere, if I were in charge of the state, I would give the police officers across the state license to shoot on site if anybody from Antifa started any shit.
And here's the thing, be vigilant. This may be a trigger event. This may be simply the beginning of the first wave. Remember, we have hundreds of thousands of illegals in this country of military age that appear to be connected to the Chinese government and other elements. And this is
Iranian
just the
government, the
beginning.
Russian government. A lot of our enemies have people here now.
The only thing I would say in caution is don't do anything unless you know what the hell you're doing. Do not simply react. Do be in charge of your actions,
Yes.
whatever they are. And if they're righteous, God bless you. And if they're not, good luck.
You know, it was almost a third today. You know why? Richard Simmons died today, the day after he turned 76. And remember Dr. Ruth? She died today at age 96.
Okay.
They say deaths happen in threes. It almost happened with President Trump. Thank God he was not the third.
Well, I'd rather not turn it into a hallmark moment.
No.
But the thing is that, yeah, those people are people that made it quite well. And the thing is that the future president of the United States was gunned at. They shot him. They hit him. It's just a peculiar stroke of luck, which I've told people that God was with him.
Yes.
And I don't say that lightly because an expert shot, if they got the ear, they could have gotten the head. It just so happens.
Well, like I said, he happened to turn his head at that second, and that was when it hit.
Well, there was an eyewitness that actually said that just before Donald Trump was shot, somebody walked in front of him and may have interfered with the clean shot. I have to turn off the alarm.
No.
Okay, so the thing is that
Yeah.
we're doing this podcast because today is too important to ignore. And unlike the mainstream media, which calls this an incident and basically would like to think that the person was a lone shooter and just some crazy person that just lost it, instead of an organized attempt to assassinate the president, a coup. That's the proper term for it. Now, since Trump is going to become president, presuming he survives the next couple of months, okay, and the months after, because these people will not stop.
No.
So the thing is, this had better be a wake-up call to all those people in Congress, in the Senate, and all those people that actually can do something to get off your dead ass and protect this man and stop relying on
more important than ever to go out and vote this year. I don't care if you've always thought my vote doesn't count. This time it counts. We have to be able to override any and all cheating that the other side's going to do.
I'll be honest with you. From the looks of this was, and it's right before Biden goes to the convention and becomes the candidate for the Democrats. Now, if Trump was shot, Biden would actually have a decent chance of winning because of all of the people that are, well, not so sharp. But the thing is, regardless of whether you like Trump or not,
on TV while we're talking.
Regardless of that, he is going to get more people on his side simply because there's this funny thing called "we don't like people getting assassinated" attitude, and a lot of people are going to have sympathy for him, and he's become basically a kind of martyr.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been mentioned more than once that he could be shot. As a matter of fact, I was talking to somebody today, and I was saying, yeah, Trump's going to win unless they shoot him.
Well, a lot of people have said that. Steve Bannon, before he went to prison,
Right.
the other day, he said the only thing left for them is to try and assassinate him.
Yeah. But the Fox News guy, I keep forgetting his name, uh, Tucker. He
Well,
even
he
asked
said,
Trump,
yeah,
"Oh, you might get shot." And
yeah.
Trump
No, a lot
accepted.
of people. Dan Bongino was one who also worried about that. A lot
Well,
of
he
people.
has been shot, so it's past tense now. He has been shot.
Yeah, yeah.
They have attempted to it. They're saying it may have been an attempted assassination. May
It
have
was.
been.
May have been my
May
ass.
have been. May have
The
been.
guy gets hit in the ear, and if he hadn't turned his head slightly, he would have been dead.
Right.
Okay.
Well,
Oh, you know what I'd like to find out if the bullet that hit the fellow who was killed, I wonder if it flattened out like like a dime, the shape of a dime, the way that the bullet that hit Ronald Reagan did. It was also from a 22. Remember? But it was
yeah.
a special
Well,
bullet.
follow point thing.
How many 20? Wait, have you ever fired a 22 that went through its target and flattened like a dime, like a disc?
Well, I don't shoot into flesh, but the thing is that a 22 long rifle does not have sufficient power to truly mushroom because from a handgun, you actually need a fairly long barrel in order to bring it up to speed. Otherwise, the
Well,
hollow point.
you need an engineered bullet that will convert into that shape.
Well, yeah, well, no,
Okay.
it's called a hollow point. But the thing is that you could have
No.
more.
It wasn't. It's not so much. It's
No, I
probably a
understand
kind
that.
of hollow point, but it's softer and more malleable than
Well,
regular hollow point.
Well, one of the things that you can do to do that is if you cast your own bullets, maybe use a softer lead. I don't know. I
Or
don't,
maybe get it from the CIA.
or it's possible. I don't know.
I
I
think
mean,
it's highly probable.
well,
I
yes,
don't. I used to admire the CIA. I always liked the CIA growing up and all. I almost joined the CIA one
never.
time when I was in my 30s. Okay, because they were looking. They were.
In the '60s, they were dropping acid. They put acid in a punch bowl at a wedding to see what it would do. LSD. So
Yeah,
assholes that do that aren't worth the time of day. That's all
I
they're.
know, but unfortunately, are in control.
Well,
Okay,
at the moment, the
at the
thing is
moment,
that
yes.
they have made. The thing is that if you take their money away, what they are is guys that were in the CIA. And of course, they
Yeah,
can start their own mafia, whatever it is that they want to do.
yeah. The
But the,
money, their money, is actually our money, which is paying their salaries, and from which they have no accountability on the money that's given them. So they could be stealing us blind, robbing us blind, and we don't know.
anyway, if you're listening to this
And they are.
podcast, okay, be hyper aware for the next week or two, just in case this is simply a platform for something bigger, which it might very well be.
Yeah,
So
it could be a platform to start unrest so that Joe Biden can say, you know what, there's too much bullshit. We're calling off the elections this year, just
and
like Zelensky did.
this particular happening, this attempted assassination, I hate to break the news to you, is actually a good thing. It's a good thing because it failed.
Yes.
It failed, and it should wake up everybody who's on the freaking middle how serious the swamp is and how dark they are and what
Yeah.
they're willing to do and how courageous Donald Trump is. He got up off of that ground and he was fist pumping and
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh, did you see? You know, my girlfriend said, you know, did you read his lips? He was saying "fuck, fuck," and I said, "No, no." And then I
No,
looked, and
fine.
it turns out they were saying he was saying "fight, fight." She said,
Right.
"Well, I knew it started with an F." She said,
Yeah. She's right. And you know what? There were some veterans in the front, some guys with MAGA hats, lots of them giving the finger to the camera. So
"I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw that. It was like I was like, holy shit! They're giving the press the finger."
Here's
Yeah.
another thing. They had an interview with this woman, and she said, when the shooting started, the crowd that was closest to him would not get down. They were hoping to use themselves as a barrier. This is
You
regular
mean the
common
ones in front of the podium?
Yeah, they tried to make it as difficult as possible for a shooter to hit Trump. These are
No.
regular citizens.
Oh, there's a body. They're showing a body on thing on top of some. Looks like some sort of container, or yeah, it looks like the backside. You know those storage units they have outdoors. Looks like he's on top of a storage unit.
Yeah, well, they said the last report I heard was he was an Antifa shooter. And it doesn't surprise me. So the thing is that when they establish that he is an Antifa shooter, if Antifa isn't hunted down like a bunch of dirty dogs, then
Come on, you think with Merrick and Merrick Garland in charge, and Biden supposedly in charge, you think that's going to happen? No, it's not.
I think what's going to happen is all of the Democrats that are in the middle that don't want any part of this kind of shit are going to stand up. There's more potential backbone in Congress and Senate than we'd like to think. It's just that there are limits to what people will do. So, and the thing is that this is the high watermark. This is where those people that were totally in the middle are going to come over, and they're going to do the right thing. So we have to pray for them too.
Well, this is why the media is trying to play it down, not to make it look like a big deal.
So here's one thing I would do. I would, as a reporter, find out who gave them the terminology today at a moment's notice to say what they said. And
always the same talking points, always.
Yes. What I'm saying is that comes from a central source.
Yeah.
The thing is, hunt that down, and now you know who's behind all this.
Yeah, the only people who can hunt it down are the congressional investigators like Jim Jordan and those guys.
Well, I understand that they're very powerful, but there's so many private individuals that are news collectors that are going to looking into this. And
I hope so.
Yep. And I'll be honest with you, I think things are going to start getting really rough because the constitutionalists like ourselves our hero has been shot. We're going to stand behind him.
Our standard bearer.
And here's the thing. To those sons of bitches that are responsible for this, okay, we don't look like much, but there's more of us than you. If you give us no reason to restrain ourselves, we will not restrain ourselves.
You know what Biden's Justice Department will do, and his administration? This will be an excuse to go after guns, and now they'll say you can't even have.
Well, that won't go because Trump will go ahead. Trump will immediately say, "Don't do that," and they'll have to listen to him because he's the one who got shot.
Yeah, just like with Reagan, they asked Reagan after he got shot, "Have you changed your mind about gun control now?" He said, "No." They were shocked. They were shocked. All right, look, we're at 20 minutes now. You want to?
Okay, we're good
now.
I think so.
Well, let's. My prayers are with President Trump and with the country, because I believe his election is going to decide the fate of our country.
If you don't believe in God, him avoiding an assassin's bullet is quite a feat. It can't be done just
by millimeters.
It did hit him.
It hit him, but I mean, he was like this, and he went like this, and that's when it hit. If he'd stayed like this, it would have blown into his head.
Right, and those agents covered him like a blanket. Those are courageous people. And the thing is that 8 shots were.
Yeah, some people behind. There were like a few people right behind him. Were down on the thing, but then the people over here, you could see a couple of guys. They're like this, like looking around, like as if they were expecting somebody to come charging, and they were ready to tackle them. So, Americans are Americans. We are a unique breed. Thank God.
The other thing is this: by going ahead and shooting Trump, okay, it takes the attention off of Biden. By taking the attention off of Biden, he gets to stay as president. So the thing is that, so if this wasn't a political move, I don't know what is, man.
One more thing I want to bring up: people like Mad Maxine and other Democrat politicians and bureaucrats and the media, not only the media but also Hollywood, are responsible for this. They've been calling for a day like this for a long time, and I hope they get their comeuppance.
Well, the funny thing is, Hollywood's been pulling out away from them. And
Biden.
And also, Biden,
No, we're pulling away from Biden only the past few days since the debate. But they still hate Trump, and they still have been calling for the assassination of Trump.
That could have been orchestrated. Hey,
that ugly strawberry-haired bitch who held up the effigy of Trump's head.
You're about to assassinate somebody, and what you tell all your friends, you go, hey, start saying nice things about Trump or start talking against Biden. So when this hits the fan, you say, well, hey, I wasn't for this.
Yeah. All right. Oh, how did you feel about Alec Baldwin getting
excellent? He shouldn't have been held. There's an armorer that's on the set that was supposed to make sure that gun was safe. It's a prop. It's not a freaking gun.
Yes, but she's already in jail. But he lied, kept saying he hadn't pulled the trigger this time and so forth. And it was he should have been responsible for something. I'm not saying for murder, but he should be. Well, you know what? Maybe he has paid in a way because I'm sure he had to pay people off.
He hasn't had a job in over a year. The thing is that Alec Baldwin,
he's a producer.
If you're given a sword, you're told it's a collapsing sword, and you go up to somebody and go, "Hey, buddy," and you stick them, and it goes right through them. Whose fucking fault is that?
Never without testing it yourself.
Yeah, that's you maybe, but the thing is that when you hand somebody a prop and say this is safe, the person who hands the prop is the one who's responsible. Alec Baldwin,
and the person who hands him the prop is supposed to show him that it's safe.
But they're still responsible.
Yes, they are responsible, but they're responsible by saying, "Okay, look, I just checked it; it's empty. Here it is."
I will not hold Alec Baldwin responsible for that at all.
Well, I'm not going to. Well, the hell with it. Anyway, it's just that he's such an asshole because he has no concept of guns or gun safety,
and yet half the country.
If you're well, that's my point. If you're going to be playing with guns, even fake guns, you should learn something about safety.
If he's going to,
matter if you're an actor.
If he has a part that he's a rabbi, does he have to go to the synagogue? No, it's an act. It's make believe. That's all.
All right. Anyway, we've gone 24 and a half minutes already.
Yeah.
We were going to cut this at 15. That didn't work. So
God bless Alec Baldwin.
Fuck Alec Baldwin. God bless President Trump.
There you go. God bless President Trump. Right.